Today, we're going to break down Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 5. First, we'll read the full passage, and then we'll walk through it line by line. By the end, you'll understand what these verses are doing, why they matter, and how their pattern can speak to real life whether you approach the text through faith, curiosity, or uncertainty. Here's Genesis 1, verses 1 through 5. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty. Darkness was on the surface of the deep, and God's Spirit was hovering over the surface of the waters. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw the light, and saw that it was good. God divided the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. There was evening and there was morning, the first day. Pause the video here if you want a moment to think about what the passage is doing. When you come back, we will walk through it, one verse at a time. Genesis 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This is the widest possible opening. Before the text gives details, it gives one claim. Reality begins under the action of God. The heavens and the earth means the whole ordered world, everything above and below. The verse does not begin with humans. It does not begin with a problem to solve. It begins with God as creator. That means order is not accidental in this passage. It belongs to the source of reality. Genesis 1, verse 2. The earth was formless and empty. Darkness was on the surface of the deep, and God's Spirit was hovering over the surface of the waters. The camera narrows. Verse 1 gives the total frame. Verse 2 shows the starting condition of the earth. Formless and empty is often summarized as tohu wa bohu. The point is not moral evil. The point is lack of shape and lack of fullness. There is earth, but not yet a stable world. There is deep water, darkness, no firm footing, no visible boundaries, and no filled places. The text begins with something real, but not yet habitable. Then verse 2 adds that God's Spirit was hovering over the waters. Before anything is fixed, God is already present. The deep is not outside God's reach. The darkness is not treated as ultimate. The unordered condition is there, but it is not final. Genesis 1, verse 3. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. The first change comes through speech. God does not organize the scene by noise or force. The command brings a new condition into being. Light enters. In the logic of the passage, light is not only brightness. It makes the world perceptible. Once there is light, things can begin to be seen. And what can be seen can be distinguished. Genesis 1, verse 4. God saw the light and saw that it was good. God divided the light from the darkness. Here the text gives two actions, evaluation and separation. God sees the light as good, then divides light from darkness. That division matters. A habitable world requires distinction. If everything bleeds into everything else, nothing can function. Order begins when one thing can be this and not that. A boundary is not a refusal of reality. It is the way reality becomes structured. Genesis 1, verse 5. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. There was evening and there was morning, the first day. The verse begins with naming. Light is called day. Darkness is called night. The two are not blended together, and darkness is not erased. It is given a boundary. It has a place, but it does not get the whole field. Then the verse gives the first completed day. Not just a label on time, but an ordered cycle. Darkness, then light, evening and morning, the first day. A world moving through sequence instead of drifting without shape, What was unformed now has a pattern you can point to, a beginning, a limit, a return. That is the ordering pattern underneath the passage. Order begins when what is formless and dark is brought into light, separated, named, and given a first day. The darkness is not erased. It is bounded. In this reading, God is the ordering Spirit who calls the unformed toward goodness, fullness, and excellence. Not by pretending the dark is gone, but by placing it where it belongs. And that is where the passage starts to press into our lives. In our lives, what is dark or undefined often cannot be fixed first. It has to be brought into view and acknowledged for what it is. Then distinction can happen. We can tell what belongs and what does not, and structure can begin. Not everything dark has to be destroyed before life can move forward. Some things first need to be seen clearly, set in their proper place, and given shape. That is where order begins. In the next episode, we will continue with Genesis 1 verses 6 through 13, where the passage moves from light and darkness to sky, waters, land, and the first ordered spaces where life can appear. Thanks for watching. If this breakdown helped you see the passage more clearly, consider subscribing. God bless.